Dolphins fans, it keeps working. Subs for Dolphins dubs. I don't really have an answer for what is happening. The fact that Miami is the first team in NFL history to lose 7 in a row and then to win 7 in a row is absolutely insane. Now, if you guys are excited about the Dolphins winning some games, all I want you to do is hit that big red button that says subscribe, because we're going to be keeping you up to date here on this YouTube channel, and we're only 26 away from 19,000. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to give you my 5 big overreactions after the Miami Dolphins realistically just whooped up on the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football, 20-3. Do I understand that Ian Book played? Yes. However, a win is a win is a win in the National Football League, and the 5 stories that you're going to see here on today's show are the top trending stories that I see right now circulating around Miami. The first one is this. Is the Miami defense the best in the National Football League? I have slowly been ramping up this conversation for quite some time now on this channel, literally since the last 7 weeks. We knew this defense had all the keys to be really good. They were probably the top most improved defense last season. What's really helped them take the next step is guys like Jalen Phillips really stepping up, Javon Holland being that Swiss Army knife, Emmanuel Ogbah, absolute stud. Jerome Baker might be the fastest linebacker for his size in the National Football League. And again, I get it. Ian Book's first start in the league, and if you want to hear a crazy stat, the quarterbacks that have come out of Notre Dame, 24 straight losses. Also, Ian Book, first quarterback ever by the name of Ian to start in the NFL. Mind-blowing. Also mind-blowing. Look at these numbers here. You allow 3 points, okay, against New Orleans, 164 total yards. 81 passing yards in an NFL game. Think about that for a second. 83 on the ground. You had 2 turnovers. You also had a pick 6 and 8 sacks. 8 sacks. Right now, the Dolphins are playing at such a high level. There's going to be a lot of haters out there like, oh, they haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody good. All right, even if you want to put that into a conversation, a few weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, they made Lamar Jackson look like an absolute joke. I mean, you're allowing 11.7. I'm going to say that again. 11.7 points per game over the last 7. If that isn't D for dominant, then I don't know what I'm looking for. Well, maybe instead of D, maybe you guys are going to go ahead and type B, because here's the question coming up here on today's show, because this is what Chat Sports is about. Giving you guys our 2 cents, but also interacting down in the comments. Do the Dolphins have the best defense in the National Football League? If you're like, Mitch, yes, they absolutely do, go ahead and type B for best. If you're like, they're close, I want you to go ahead and type C for close. Let's go to my next overreaction here, and is Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback of Miami, holding back the Dolphins. This is one of those where I know there's going to be a lot of people that get upset because they're like, Mitch, they've won 7 straight games in the NFL. Quarterbacks are judged by wins and losses. I don't disagree with that, but I am going to sit there and point the finger and say, well, the Achilles heel to this team, and it really does worry me, minus the offensive line, it could end up being Tua. Now, yesterday, he was 19-26, 198 yards, a touchdown, an interception. He did fumble the ball. It was recovered, though, by Liam Eichenberg. Listen, I want Tua to be successful. I want him to be a solid quarterback in the National Football League. I liked him a lot coming out of Alabama. But the key is this. You know the expression Achilles heel? I'm not sure if Tua is going to be the Achilles heel to this offense because it is that offensive line. But is Tua realistically holding back this Miami offense? And I mean, we're going to ask that question here. So once we get it pulled up, don't worry, we'll get you going here. But like, Tua, is he holding back Miami? I want you to give me a Y for yes, or I want you to go ahead and type N for no. I'm not saying that he's holding them back, but you have to admit, if this Dolphins team had a quarterback where you could say even just top 10, maybe even just top 15, they would be really, really scared. Though, I don't think anybody really wants to play this Dolphins team right now. Y for yes, and for no is Tua holding back Miami. Now, today's show sponsor, love it, BetUS. If you guys have been betting on the Dolphins the past few weeks, you've made a lot of money. Now, maybe you're like, you know what, man? They finally won 7 games in a row. I'm finally going to go ahead and take advantage of the steal. It's about damn time. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Dolphins125. You're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. What does that mean? It means if you deposit $100, you get $125 for free. Put down $200, get $250 for free. Watch this math. Put down $500, get $625 for free. So whether you want to bet on Miami, over-under, spreads, playoffs, it doesn't matter. We got it all. JackSports.com/bet. Promo code Dolphins125. Since that's the best deal on the internet, let's go to maybe the best rookie wide receiver right now in the league. It's Jaylen Waddle. And what this young man is doing is really, really spectacular. And I can't wait to hear everyone be like, oh, Waddle broke Anquan Boldin's rookie receiving record because of the 17 games. He's actually missed the game, so we can already say that's how good this young man's been. And then yesterday up against New Orleans, he was by far the number one target, and I don't even know if anybody else had over 5 targets, but the fact that Waddle had 12 for 10 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown, when this young man is out on the field, you can see his explosiveness. And what's really helped him take that next step, we knew he was a speedster, but his chemistry with Tua, his route running ability, the way that Miami is starting to use him on offense, they're putting him out wide, they're lining him up in the slot, they're lining him up all over the football field, and that helps out Tua a lot because the defense has to respect it. You got to see who's going to be covering him, who's going to be double covering Waddle, which is why I basically mentioned it earlier, and we've been talking about it for 3 weeks. He's slowly been creeping up to Anquan Boldin's rookie reception record. Bolden had 101 grabs back in 2003. Was it a totally different NFL? Yes, absolutely. But Waddle's 96 catches while missing a game and 2 games left, I mean, there's not enough people talking about Waddle. And I'm going to bring this up because realistically, there are 2 receivers right now in the league that are rookies that are literally the front runners to be the top rookie wide receivers this season. It's Waddle of the Dolphins and Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Chase went number 5 overall. Waddle went number 6 overall of this past year's draft. Now, their abilities are very different in terms of how they're impacting their team. Waddle, for instance, 96 grabs, 941 yards, 9.8 yards per catch. He does have 3 rushing yards, 6 total touchdowns, 5 on the ground, 1 through the air. Jamar Chase, 68 grabs, 1,163 yards, averaging 17.1 receptions or yards per catch. He's got 21 rushing yards, 10 total touchdowns, all of which are coming through the air. So here's my question. You got those 2 top receivers, and if you don't like the comparison, well, you better buckle up because these 2 guys will be compared throughout their entire career. If you think Jamar Chase is the better receiver, I want you to go ahead and type 1. If you believe that Jaylen Waddle is the better receiver of the 2, I want you to go ahead and type 17. Here's my next story coming up here around the Miami Dolphins. And is there a running back battle starting to brew down in Miami? Not between Myles Gaskin. I mean, if you look at the top 2 rushers yesterday, it was Phillip Lindsay, Duke Johnson. And no, they're not Texans running backs, but at some point this year, yes, they both were on Houston's team, which does make me chuckle a little bit. Now, yesterday, Lindsay, 13 carries, 36 yards. I got a little bit nervous. I actually thought he fumbled, and a fun little stat about Phillip Lindsay. He's carried the ball over 800 times, and he's actually never fumbled in his NFL career. He had a long of 6. Duke Johnson had 13 carries, 39 yards. He averaged 3.0 yards per carry. Neither running back scored, but at least you see 13 carries. Myles Gaskin, he had only 3. So out of these top 3 running backs, because I think we would all agree, right now, here are your top 3 backs for Miami. In the way that Duke Johnson has played over the past few weeks, I actually like the way that Phillip Lindsay runs. He's a very physical runner. And then you got Myles Gaskin, who is the number 1 running back on this squad. Type PL for Lindsay, DJ for Duke Johnson, or MG for Myles Gaskin. Now, the next story is probably going to be the one that you guys are like, well, yeah, we already know the story. If you don't know the story, hey, don't worry. We got you covered. Dolphins are playoff bound. And what do I mean by that? I said it earlier. They lost 7 games. Now they've won 7 in a row. And at one time, I can't even believe this, but the Dolphins were 1-7. And now you're sitting here as the number 7 seed. If anybody's going to Vegas, if anybody's near a slot machine, go play the 777s machine because Dolphins being 7 wins in a row. You were once 1-7, now 8-7. I mean, there's so many 7s flying around here. But the reason why the Dolphins are over the Chargers, over the Raiders, over the Ravens is because all those teams have an 8-7 record, and the Dolphins have the best combined record or in terms of teams that all four of those teams have played, and it's like something to do with overall record. But at the end of the day, though, Miami is the number 7 seed. They control their own destiny, and if they beat the Titans, and if they go ahead and take care of business up against the New England Patriots, this team's in the playoffs, y'all. So here were my 5 overreactions with the Miami Dolphins after their 20-3 win up against New Orleans. And the trend of this show has been, I am a superstitious person, but this has been the trend where I tell you, hey, subscribe in the beginning, and at the very end, I'm going to tell you to type playoffs. I have done this video 6 straight weeks. Actually, 7 straight weeks. Math. 7 straight weeks, and I've ended it with, if you think the Dolphins will make the playoffs, I want you to go ahead and type playoffs. I don't know if it's because we're making the videos they keep winning, but I'll tell you what, this is a really fun team, and I want you guys to never miss anything. Make sure you're typing playoffs. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I don't want you to miss anything. We got 2 weeks left in the NFL season.